Hi, beautiful soul. This is Hanneke from Twin Soul Alchemy. Welcome to this channel on blossoming on the twin flame journey. In this video, I will be discussing the new moon in Virgo and the influence or the impact of this new moon in Virgo on the twin flame connection and the twin flame journey. This morning, I received a channeled message that really helped me understand the twin flame connection even deeper, even after all of these years. And it really helped me understand what it can teach us right now. And it's really linked to the current energy. So I'll first go into what the current energy is, astrologically speaking, and then I'll go into the channeled message, which truly offers a key to dealing with what is happening right now. And what is truly synchronistic is that in this new moon in Virgo, the sun and the moon are together at 11 degrees of Virgo. So there is an 11 right away. And the sun and the moon in Virgo emphasizes the need for small but meaningful improvements in our life. And Virgo is, of course, the Virgo energy is meticulous and focused on the details. And it asks us to consider what is truly working for us and what is not. It is about finding ways to simplify and to reduce chaos and to create space that is more aligned with our well-being. So this Virgo energy is asking us to surrender our thoughts and emotions that no longer serve us. Virgo is about decluttering our physical spaces and is actually pushing us to let go of mental and emotional clutter that hinders our soul's full expression in our body. It is asking us to look within ourselves and be truly honest about how this is being mirrored to us in our connection, the way that we are hindering ourselves in our daily lives. And I'll go a little bit deeper in that further along in this video. But first, I'd like to talk about the opposition of this new moon in Virgo with Saturn in Pisces. So on the one hand, this new moon in Virgo is a new beginning where we can set new intentions like every new moon, where we can sow new seeds for our future growth, especially around self-care, health, well-being, and in a very practical way, in a very solution-oriented way. And on the other hand, Saturn has been in Pisces for a while. And it's coming into an exact opposition with this new moon in Virgo. And Saturn in Pisces is about turning our dreams and ideals into reality. Pisces is a sign associated with dreams, mysticism, spirituality. And Saturn in Pisces forces us to structure these dreams, to make them realistic and to take actual steps to achieve them. And Saturn also imposes boundaries. And in Pisces, this means that we are challenged to set limits on our emotional and our spiritual practices. And it can be a time to ground our spiritual practice, or where we need to bring more discipline into our spiritual practice or our emotional lives. And if we add up those two, so the new moon in Virgo and Saturn in Pisces, then we will feel that there's a necessity to discipline our emotions in a very practical way. And it is asking us to be truly honest about what the connection is mirroring us right now. It's asking us to be honest about how we are hindering ourselves to create the lives that we want. This energy invites us to start new projects or routines focused on practical improvements and efficiency, but it may also evoke a sense of responsibility regarding our emotional and spiritual aspirations. It calls for a balance between realizing our ideals and dealing with the practical reality. So for me, the way that I look at this is that we are being offered a bridge, a key between the practical realities of the third dimension and the fifth dimensional creation, or our spiritual aspirations, our dreams. And Saturn in Pisces may have amplified your feelings of fear or uncertainty regarding emotional or spiritual boundaries. And the new moon in Virgo can help us take practical steps to manage these fears and to balance realism with our deeper emotional needs. So what you can feel is this tension between the desire for order and efficiency created by Virgo and the need for spiritual expression and emotional depth of Pisces. And if we find a balanced approach where we take both our practical responsibilities and our deeper emotional and spiritual needs seriously, then this can be a time of significant realizations where we learn how to realize our dreams within the limits of reality while not losing sight of our emotional and spiritual well-being. And so the channeled message that was coming through is very much in line with that. It offered me an overview of how this all connects together without having it to be a real tension. And I'm going to do my best to explain what has been shown to me, because when I receive these channeled messages, I don't get them word for word whispered in my ear. They come out of my mouth word for word, but it's actually me talking about what I'm seeing. So it's like there's these little packages of information that are being dropped into my consciousness, and I unpack them as I go along and I speak my words. And I recorded them. So now I can tell you about what I was shown about the twin flame connection. And some of this is probably not new to a lot of you, or for some of you it may be new. But for me, it was mostly a deepening, deeper understanding of what we are doing in this twin flame connection. So I was shown that this connection is about the soul gaining access to enter the body. And that is what we feel when we first meet this other person, our twin flame. That deep feeling of coming home is our soul entering our body. And when you come together physically, there's this deep attraction caused by the polarity of masculine and feminine energies. And this attraction is so strong that it grants immediate access of the soul to enter the body. So it's in this togetherness with this other person, in the shared energy field that is magnetic to the soul, creates access to the soul to enter the body. And from the moment that thoughts and emotions intrude in this shared energy field, so lower vibrational thoughts and emotions, they get in the way of the soul getting this access. They get in the way of the soul coming in. And as these thoughts and emotions take over, they create separation, consciousness. And this is one of the most important lessons in the twin flame journey, to learning how to surrender these lower vibrational thoughts and emotions. It's learning about observing what arises and learning how to sacrifice these thoughts and emotions to liberate ourselves from their grip. Because only in freedom can love flow. And this earthly life, this 3D life, evokes a massive amount of thoughts and emotions. It's truly the next level of human consciousness to learn how to transcend these thoughts and emotions and to not get swept away by the human experience, to not lose ourselves in it. If we lose ourselves, then that is not a conscious experience of the soul. And I'd like to add here that learning to transcend thoughts and emotions and not getting swept away by the human experience does not mean that we completely detach from what we are feeling. It is about truly allowing these feelings, truly feeling our emotions and truly observing our thoughts and then surrendering them back to the universe. It's not about pushing them away. It's about accepting that we are experiencing these emotions and thoughts. And at the same time, not identifying with them. And I've talked about this before, but it is now becoming apparent that in this energy is helping us master this, to help us master the opportunity to co-create as a soul with the universe in a very practical way. This creative power to co-create with the universe emerges when our entire body acts as an antenna and is aligned with our soul. And this soulfulness in our lives is the deployment of that creative power as a play. It is not driven by our human needs, but by the love of the soul. And the first task of every day is to tune into that wholeness of the body in connection with the soul. And from there, the connection with the divine arises. And this way, creations are made possible on earth, in the human life. So it is like a game that is being played, and challenges and opportunities in this game, in this 3D reality, are opportunities to reach the next level, to learn the next lesson, and to move on to the next level when the lesson is learned. So when you look at life like that, then 3D is only feedback. It is only the field that you are playing in, and it doesn't mean anything about your capabilities or your self-worth. And we can use whatever is happening around us, and specifically in our twin flame connection, we can use this as feedback on where we are in this game. And looking at it like that creates the possibility to play this game from joy and to not take things personally. And emotional security is a major lesson for the feminine polarity, and it is a key to the creative power. Emotional security is a key to unlock this creative power, and without this key, we are creating blindly. And this way, things can go wrong very quickly. And it is only from self-acceptance, from inner safety, that we can let go of self-judgment, and it is from the empathy of our heart and compassion for our human shortcomings that we create this inner emotional safety. We all have this soul blueprint that is perfect from a human perspective, and the actualized form of that soul blueprint in the third dimension is uniquely shaped by our specific life experiences. And this earthly form, this 3D form, can be changed from soul level, from the acceptance that it was formed this way through experiences, and from the insight that you can change it on a soul level, as if you lift up the building blocks, the earthly molecules, from the 3D into the fifth dimension, where they suddenly become malleable, where they can be shaped into something different, and then descend back into the earthly dimension. It's as if you take Lego construction, so a construction made out of Lego bricks, and you lift it into the fifth dimension, and it becomes some sort of clay. I don't know the right word for it in English, but some sort of clay, and you can mold it, and you're not limited to the bricks anymore. Everything can blend, and you can create something completely different. And then it descends again, and it turns into Lego brick construction again, and you can get a completely different result that wasn't possible when you just remain in the third dimension and you just dismantle the construction with the blocks and try to build something different with these blocks. No, you created something completely different from another dimension, and you let it go back to this density of the third dimension. So that means that if we cannot approach this process of creation from the consciousness of our soul, then we can put in as much energy as we want, the results will be minimal when creating in the third dimension. Manipulation in the third dimension is an energy leak. And that is really what the twin flame connection is teaching us. It's a crash course. It becomes quickly clear that what normally works on Earth between two different people in communication or in a relationship, it doesn't work between twin flames. It's like trying to grasp something that is constantly being repelled. And the constant grasping and being repelled presses all of our buttons, all of our pain points, all of the bruises that we have built up through this physical life. And this keeps going until this grip is being released, until the grasping is stopped, until the underlying expectations and the desires for a specific outcome are completely surrendered, until you realize that doing things in the 3D when it comes to your twin flame connection, it will never work. This connection cannot be led from the third dimension through actions. I don't know if this is clear what I'm saying, but what I mean is that in your day-to-day life, you will attract people in your life who want to complement you, who want to give you what you need, what your ego needs, in exchange for you giving them what you need, what they need. And so most relationships are transactional. If you do this for me, then I do that for you. And most of the time, it is very unconscious. So in contact with a relationship, with a person like that, if you are vulnerable or you ask for what you want, you might get what you want. And you're creating something in the third dimension. But you're playing with the Lego bricks that are actually already existing in this reality. What the twin flame connection is teaching us is that we are so much more powerful when we create from our souls. Our twin flame will never give us what we need if we cannot give it ourselves. They will never complement us when there's a need out of lack. What they will do is they will show us, they will mirror us where we are creating out of fear and lack, so that we can learn to step out of it, to transcend it, move into the fifth dimension and create it from there. Desires from the soul are so much softer. They are not demanding. They're not overpowering, overwhelming. And the twin flame process is also a process of freeing yourself, learning to free yourself from those demanding desires, those ego needs that come from lack and from the shadow side of our ego. These needs can hold us captive, and that is what our twin flame will mirror us when that happens. You may have heard along your journey that your divine counterpart says to you that he feels trapped. And most of the time, what is actually happening is not you imprisoning your twin flame through actions, claiming them all the time, manipulating them. That is mostly not what is happening, although of course that can occur. But what is actually creating this feeling of imprisonment is the energy. It is your ego needs that are imprisoning you, that are having such a grip on your life and your experience that it is being mirrored by your twin flame. If you do not get a grip on those desires, those needs, those wants, then they will control your entire life. You will feel like you're constantly grasping to your twin flame or to things outside of you. And it is from this tight grip that you are trying to create through actions in the third dimension. And it is only through complete acceptance and compassion that we do this. that we can let this go. Healing whatever that needs to be healed in order for you to let this go. Healing those parts of you that need to be healed, to free yourself from your dependency of the external world, from the feeling that your desires need to be fulfilled. If you can let go of these dependencies, you will set yourself and your divine counterpart free. And that means that you heal the patterns that make you place responsibility outside of you. That is taking back your power. You take responsibility for yourself through complete self-acceptance. You can ask yourself, in order to heal, what role do I take on in this situation instead of taking responsibility? What role am I taking on? Do I feel like a victim? Does the world and my divine counterpart, the other person in the connection, do they do things to me? Do I feel pain because of what the world, what life, what the other person does? Do I feel pain because of what happens outside of me? Do I see myself as a victim? Do I think that I need to save the other person? Do I need to save the world? Do I need to change things outside of myself for me to feel better? Will I manipulate them so that they will change? Or do I feel that I am responsible for things that I'm not responsible for at all? Do I feel responsible for what other people do, for situations outside of me that you have no control over? Do I blame myself for things? Do I make myself guilty? Do I make myself smaller to make the world feel safer? And the way to step out of these patterns is to see, to accept, to send love, and to receive this love as well. And then to let go of them and to make a different decision, a different choice, by not manipulating, by not belittling ourselves, by not feeling guilty, but by saying, it's okay, I'm okay, whatever I do, I'm okay. The other person is okay, the world is okay, everything is okay as it is. And then feel in your heart the direction you want to go in. And you just stay connected to your dream, to the way that you desire, the things that you desire for your life. You stay connected, but you let go of that grip. It is out of your hands. The only thing that you can do is connect with the intention, with the frequency of what you want to create. And you move on with your life until you feel an inspired action, until you feel that your heart is telling you to do something, until you feel that whisper about that next step. That is how you mold the Lego bricks. You take it into the fifth dimension. You take it inside, and it is inside that the creation happens first. And then you offer it up to the universe, and you realize that you are co-creators. And then it will manifest into the physical reality. And if you don't like it, you take it back up and you change the color, you change the scent, you change the shape, and you offer it up again and see how the universe delivers. Everything happens within first, especially in the twin flame connection. And that means that, yes, you're allowed to desire everything that you want. And you're allowed to connect with those frequencies and you create your life from the inside out. But no, your desires are not holding you captive anymore. You create and let go. And it doesn't mean that you give up, you just let go. You've already created it and now it can appear in your reality. So how does this new moon in Virgo is linked with that? It is linked through the realization that you create from the fifth dimension. And at the same time, you manage your 3D experience. You manage your thoughts and your emotions in a very practical way. You focus on positive thoughts and you find practical ways to reduce the chaos. You find practical ways to create space that is aligned with your well-being and from a decluttered mind, and you align your daily actions with your higher purpose, with your soul's dreams, and that will help you to not get lost in the mundane. We are also helped by Mercury, which is the ruler of Virgo, and he's moving directly into Leo and will be in a harmonious trine with Chiron. And this aspect encourages healing and self-acceptance, particularly of our vulnerable and wounded parts. So Mercury and Chiron are helping us liberate ourselves and are allowing us to step into a more empowered and authentic version of ourselves. And as we approach the eclipse season with the Pisces full moon lunar eclipse 2 weeks after this new moon, there is an invitation to tune into the deeper, more spiritual messages. But I'll be back to talk about that in due time. But in summary, this Virgo new moon sets the stage for a time of practical improvements and introspect, while also preparing us for the deeper spiritual work that will be highlighted during the lunar eclipse. And the channeled message I received encourages us to align our daily actions with our soul's purpose and to let go of the mental and emotional clutter, to step into our power with love, compassion, and acceptance. And we can thank our twin flame for this great gift of learning that through self-acceptance and acceptance of everything as it is, and through taking responsibility for ourselves, that we can learn how to create in the fifth dimension from freedom. It's a beautiful gift of self-liberation. So I hope this video has helped you in preparing for this energy, and that it helps you to truly look in the mirror and see how your connection is showing you what is happening within you, how you are. Are you holding yourself imprisoned through your desires, or are you ready to liberate yourself from the unconscious roles that you take on through your twin flame connection, but also in other relationships? And I hope it can offer you guidance on taking back your responsibility and becoming more empowered. If you'd like to share with the community in the comments, what patterns are you releasing right now? What do you see in your mirror? Do you recognize yourself in pushing away your responsibility through these different roles that I've mentioned, by victimizing yourself, or by trying to rescue, or by blaming yourself? Please share if you'd like to share, if this resonates with you, or whatever else you'd like to share about your twin flame journey. So to conclude, I am sending you a lot of love and light. Take care. Bye.